Amalia Putri Pertiwi. I want to explain about the reason for language change. There are three reasons for language change, namely social status, gender, and interaction. The first is social status and language change. Snell in 2014 stated that the relationship between language and social status has been a major concern in a field of applied linguistics and sociolinguistics, communication ethnographic, research on language attitude, research on public linguistic debate, and education. So, any social group linguistic change can reach a speech culture, but different types of change are associated with this change group. For example, members of group with the most social standing prefer to incorporate change from neighboring group, which have greater status and reputation in their eyes, into a speech culture. Choose in the mind of many people from outside London. Upper class London speech has prestige. Therefore, middle class individuals in Norwich who frequently visit London are likely to bring prestigious New London pronunciation or idiom from London to Norwich. For instance, the vowel pronunciation in top and dog has changed from top and dog to RP top and dog in Norwich. Among the leaders in this transition were middle-class speakers and especially women. In spreading less conscious linguistic change, lower-class speakers are more prominent. In particular, lower-class men also use speech by nearby local workers to convey unity, not prejudice. It's not just people who prefer to infonate this way in social underclass, but choose in the upper classes. Upper class workers are a group with a certain combination of transparency, depth over an alternative type of language, along with a level of density that over a form of opportunity to be general. In Norwich speech, for example, this organization has been introduced to modify the pronunciation of vocal sound, such as hell and just used by people from the surrounding countryside. It sounds like hall. Use the new pronunciation of hell. Depending on if it infiltrates into a upper middle class speech in Norwich. Apart this modification will spread out until they know their low status compared to the RP pronunciation of this vowel. The HRT mentioned above in Australia appear to be spreading among lower socio-economic classes. This intonation is used most commonly by people in lower paid employment, and it's especially arched as a solidarity marker for this category. However, many older speakers of higher status currently regard it in particular as of kind, and so it can remain within the lower social echelon. Alternatively, it may spread from higher social classes into the informal speech of young people, and there be eventually spread upward in this way. The second is gender and language change. Different in women and men's speech are another source of variation which can result in linguistic change. Sometimes women are the innovator leading a linguistic change, and sometimes men. Women tend to be associated with change toward both prestige and vernacular norms, whereas men more often introduce particular change. Jensen and Mustafa in 2014 state that the woman use of language she frequently mentioned to be principle that women always tend to acquire all new prestige from even from outside their speech commonly beside their elimination for all the form that they think they are denoted. The woman's speech indicates their social aspiration. They use more of the standard Castilian final O pronunciation on word and fewer of the dialect final U pronunciation that the men do. In generalization, in this village, then the woman's speech is closer to the standard of prestige pronunciation of Spanish than is the man. The woman have had enough of prison village life. They have seen different lifestyle and been exposed to the standard dialect in their job as cooks for upper class family or as university student. They use more standard from the people outside their village. They gradually this form extend throughout their speech, reflecting not only their social contact but also their values and aspiration. Women in Usida are leading change toward Castilian Spanish and introducing prestige variant into Usida speech. In Norwich, in England, upper working class men are lending a sound change away from the RP standard pronunciation of words like hell toward the vernacular norm of the surrounding rural area hall. This speech norm appeared to express the working class man loyalty to local values on the solidarity of working men as a group. The Norwich women, by contrast, are lending chance toward LP in different vowel in Belfast. The same pattern record. Women are lending chance toward the standard while men are introduce no particular variation. This generalization accounts for difference in women and men, a role in relation to language change in a variety of community. But there are at least two types of expression to this pattern. First, women may also introduce vernacular change into a community, and secondly, there are communities where women are not lending linguistic change in any direction. Finally, the generalization about women lending change toward the standard dialect apply only there where women play some role in public social life. The last is interaction and language change. According to Harya in 2016, a social culture with the culture they live with, people prefer to be recognized as the same. In their everyday interaction, it is very probably that people would mimic and language of their fellow. In providing the mechanism for linguistic change, interaction and contact between individuals is essential as prefer example have suggested. Harya in 2016 stated that I briefly described in this final section more especially the way in which contact or lack of it has influenced the progression of linguistic change in a variety of cultures. Linguistic change generally progress most slowly in ethnic communities which have little contact with the outside world. The communicative need of the people, their need to be able to interact easily, which has led to a merging of the grammar. On the other hand, each group also wants to be identifiable distance, and this has led to the maintenance indifference at the vocabulary level. One part of linguistic common that this is the linguistic equivalent of having your cake and eating it too. Stretching the progress of linguistic change through the speech of a community is a fascinating exercise. It involves considering the influence of a wide range of social factors. This chapter has obviously drawn on the discussion of social status, gender, and interaction in early chapter. Any of these factors may be relevant in accounting for where a particular change starts or how it spread through a community. The discussion in this chapter has also demonstrated the identifying change in progress involves considering different speech styles as well as the speech of people from different groups. I think that's all from us. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.